Cup champion Darren McCarty, the golden voice of Neal Ruhl, and the iconic Terry Foster. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, welcome back, everybody. Big D Energy right here, Woodward Sports Network.
Big D.
My name is Neal Ruhl, back in the house. That guy over there, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, he is in the house. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. We're squad deep, and you know what? I like it. I'm here for it.
Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Welcome back. Looks like you had, at least you're making good use of your time away.
Yeah,
Good use of your time away. You got to do the travel to the Nets in that building. How was that building? How was broadcasting in that building?
Barclays Center is incredible. You know the wildest thing about it? When the bus pulls into an elevator for a bus.
What?
And it drops it down to the concourse level, which is below street level.
Yeah.
So the bus pulls in the elevator, and elevator lowers the bus down. Then the bus pulls in the rest of the way. Everybody gets out. There's this circle that turns, like a microwave, like what your plate sits on in a microwave.
Yeah,
Everybody gets off the bus. They turn the circle. The bus turns around. It pulls into the elevator. It goes back up, and then it goes out.
That's wild.
It is wild. I mean, obviously, space is at a premium in New York City and Brooklyn.
Obviously, they figured it out, because I always remember playing. I never played in that stadium, but playing in Madison Square Garden. Right, you're walking the ramps all around, and the bus has to drive around, and sometimes you got to wait for cars to come in, to park, cars to come out. So there's definitely, you said it, space at a premium there, but they figured it out.
Woodwardsports.com chat thread. Make sure you jump in there as well. Thank you guys, everybody, too, by the way, everybody that listened and all the messages and in that FJ 1967. You rocked it last night, Neal. Thank you guys for your support. It does. It means a lot. I think about that, man, before I go on the air. Like, people care, dude, and it's a pretty good feeling. Tammy Chin, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tammy. I understand the Red Wings got away. You know what?
Big one.
I have a bone to pick with the Red Wings, by the way.
Oh.
I have a bone to pick, and because it affected me. Right? Like, I'm on brand here.
Yep.
Because it affected me. So we left at the same time as the Red Wings did from Metro Airport. Their plane was next to ours, and they got out first, so they used up the rest of the de-icer.
More wins.
Well, they used up the rest of the de-icer.
They have more wins, dude. I mean, seriously.
I don't care about all that, D-Mac.
I understand. Plus, they were going to Montreal.
They were. So they used up the rest of the de-icer, so we had to wait a few more minutes, so they scrambled more de-icer.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
Did you get up and go get one of those crab avocado skewers? Or did you go to the sushi plate? I mean, I'm sure it was really bad on the Pistons team plate.
It was. I mean, I couldn't quite fully recline into a sleeping position. But life's not about the adversity that happens to you, D-Mac. It's how you respond to that adversity.
Nicely done. You responded nicely. I see the end of the night. It didn't end up too bad. Sitting in a picture across from George Blaha in Little Italy.
Yeah, and that
way to regroup, bud.
Well, I mean, like that.
One of your best abilities.
Yeah, D-Mac. You ever get to eat dinner? Like people say, if you could eat dinner with 4 people in your life, who would who are those
you
4?
got one on your bucket list, right?
I got one.
And you got the one-on-one time.
Yeah. Oh, look at that, Spenny. Yeah, there it is in Little Italy with the immortal Johnny Kane as well. By the way,
is that what we were talking about?
Yes,
we're talking about Johnny Kane.
Hey, and you know what? Too, real quick, a shout out to Johnny Kane as well, because he made sure to come over and include me because I was a new guy. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he made sure to come in and kind of usher me in there. So big shout out to Johnny Kane.
That's
my guy.
Important. And I think anytime you get the opportunity, like you said, to sit down and have any time. In any group with somebody that you've idolized or somebody you look up to, and especially in your profession.
Yeah.
Right? In your profession. I related back to one of my childhood heroes was Lance Parrish, and when I got to meet him, and he actually told me he watched me play, and I was blown away by that. I mean, you only played for the Red Wings, but that was cool. So that sort of moment when you're heroes, and then you get some time, and then you realize they're people. Right, like you have that personal connection, and it goes back to what you do is not who you are. So I'm happy. I'm really happy for you. And anybody, especially, we see this day and age that the next moment, the next day is never promised. We see that too much. So to get those bucket lists and to nail them down to anybody out there, that's awesome.
No, it was incredible. And the Pistons won. Yes, as you said, the WoodwardSports.com chat there. Klompsaw says, Neal, is that Umberto's? That was originally going to be the spot. Umberto's was closed, actually. Didn't know if they were doing some kind of renovation on the inside. That was originally where we were going to go. Cafe Napoli, by the way. It was great, though. It was absolutely great. And remember, too, I'm tough because my wife's family is all from Italy. 100% Italian. Her parents came over from Italy. So, and the guys kept asking me about, like, Italian food. Like, what's your favorite Italian restaurant? I'm like, we don't go to Italian restaurants.
No, because it's all home cooked. It was up to
standards, yes. And as a spouse of an Italian,
I've been to Little Italy. I've been to back in the day. Did it have a bocce court in there?
There was one down the street because there always is one.
There's always one and a bunch of those. That's how you know how deep into the Italian culture that they are.
Yeah, absolutely. CB says Neal should attend every Pistons game so they keep winning. That was Greg Kelser suggested that, as a matter of fact.
There you go.
But
he's like, you got to keep going until you lose.
So we're just gonna bank on that our luck in the bingo balls and the small percentage, because if we put you there, then we'll have more wins. We'll move out of the 2 spot.
You know what? I like that. Yeah, that is true too.
I'm just. Are we tanking? Are we tanks? Is this about tanks or is this about the bag? About Neal's bag or about Neal's? Is about?
Well, it's always about Neal's bag first.
Yeah, I know.
You know that's always first. But and guy, like, I know you guys are both kind of basketball elite, Sam and Spence. Kyrie Irving, by the way, bro.
Yeah. Best handles in the history of the NBA.
It's something, and I talked about this on the broadcast. Like, people that are critical of NBA basketball or basketball, they don't play defense. Mm-hmm. There is no defense for Kyrie Irving.
No.
If he gets to the spot, it's a bucket.
So the first thing when you bring this up is the fact that now it explains to you when you see him live that all the drama and all the stuff around him, why it's sort of accepted, because you are seeing someone out there that
because
is
he
unstoppable.
Can be that way,
right? Is that what comes across your mind?
That's immediately what I thought.
So it's like the hot chick.
Yep,
it's like the hot chick, right? How much you willing to put up with?
He can do what he wants out there because he can do what he wants out there.
He can get to any. It does. You can't stop him from getting to his spot. If he wants to get somewhere, he's going to get to it.
He's one of only 9 guys ever in the history of the game to have a 50, 40, 90 season.
Yeah.
50% field goal, 40% three, 90% free throws. Mm-hmm. 9 people ever have done it in the history of basketball. And he's one of them.
Did it on high volume, too. I mean,
right.
I mean, Kyrie Irving is a star in this league. And last night, I mean, it's kind of crazy that he was able to have such a great game, one of his best of the year, and the Pistons still beat him. I've always been a fan of Kyrie Irving. I know there's a lot of drama surrounding him, but he's such a great player. And people seem to forget that on that 2016 Cavs team, he was one of the best Robins to LeBron's Batman in NBA history. They don't win that championship without him.
Batman. It wasn't Batman.
I don't know about Batman.
When everything was hanging in the balance, Kyrie Irving was the Batman.
He took over.
Yeah,
he took over.
He did.
And I think that sometimes is that for us, where you say who aren't a basketball elite, and we see all the drama that goes, why do you take this guy? Why is he worth all this? And it's not just his opinions. Well, it is what he comes out and says some pretty crass things sometimes. Now you understand that in a money business, right? It's an asset. So
let's cut the ish, D-Mac. Right. There are different rules for different people.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
So true.
And Pete Smith in the Woodward Sports Chat, I understand, like, we're in Detroit. This is Detroit Network. Isaiah Thomas, top 3-point guard of all time.
No doubt.
Yes, Kyrie Irving's handles are better. Like, they are. I'm sorry.
Very few people in the history of the world can say that they do something at a sport better than any human who has ever existed. And I agree with you, Spencer. Kyrie Irving is the greatest ball handler who has ever played NBA basketball.
Now, if he had Isaiah's makeup.
Yes.
Oh.
If he had Isaiah's headspace and what he
does. If he had the dog that Isaiah, that's why
4 MVPs.
That's why he's one of my favorite athletes ever of any sport. He would slit his grandmother's throat to win. And I
you're
love
talking
that.
about Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Yeah.
He would slit his grandmother's throat to win. I'm convinced of that.
With that smile.
With that, and you wouldn't even know it happened.
No.
Yeah. No, Rack says those deep threes you're hitting yesterday were unguardable. They were. I mean, he's dropping 30-foot threes and everything. But didn't matter.
Did not matter.
The Pistons won. Sadiq Bey was really good last night.
Bay.
Just letting you know, Spenny.
He looked
Who
good.
were you, Neal, like real quick, like what were you from, just being there, and I know you'd done a game earlier in the season, but, obviously a win, and then this is impressive and stuff like this. What you said, Sadiq Bey was impressive.
Very
was
good.
There something like you see something that maybe you hadn't seen before that it took you to be there live?
He looked like he was in a better headspace than he was earlier in the year. He had that look like things weren't going well and he didn't know what he was going to do about it. And last night he was very, very good. He took over the basketball game for a while. Amadou Diallo, guy a lot of people talk about, was very good off the bench. The Pistons' second unit destroyed the Nets' second unit. Destroyed it. And then they closed down the club. Like, the Nets couldn't get within 5. No matter how many flagrant fouls on three-point attempts they called on the Pistons, it didn't matter. They closed down the club. Whenever they needed a bucket, they got it. But they had 8 guys, I think, in double figures. Some crazy number.
8, yes.
Yeah.
That's consistency, like you said, and then which has proven that the Pistons need everybody that they have to be able to compete and win this league. But still, small little victory for to beat Brooklyn. Because anytime, like you said, when you got a guy like Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, stuff like that. So hopefully, like you said, City can build on this. And headspace is something that we've questioned about him. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to hear you come back and say, hey, you know what? It seems like he's falling into his own.
Yeah, no, and he is, and he's playing very well. And it's good to see. I will tell you this, too, like being around the team, like as far as the rest of the season goes, I hadn't realized it until you like get in the guts of it and start researching for the broadcast. They played 10 back-to-backs this year. 10. Like far and away the leaders in the league because of the Paris trip, because you need those couple days off before and a couple days off after to go to Paris. They don't have nearly as many back-to-backs on the second half of the season. So when I was talking with Dwayne Casey last night, when Casey and I were talking, we like to hold court just like I do with Stevie Y.
Yep.
Dwayne Casey and I
were equal opportunity.
Yeah,
right?
Anyone that wants to, seek my counsel, I'm available. No, but it's factual. And look, people are gonna think what they want about Dwayne Casey. They are, and when you lose like that, certainly the coach is the one that comes in under fire. But to be fair, and this is again factual, they will finally get regular practice time. And when you're young,
that's the key, right there. The age of this team, the youth of this team, with back-to-backs coming out of the.
They're going to be better the second. I will promise you that they will be better than what they have been now. I promise you that.
No, that's great to hear, and it's great to be able to get some of that insider stuff from being around and actually talking to the guy who's actually running the team right now. So, I mean, and we'll wait and see.
Yeah. Absolutely we will.
See. Did he mention anything like positives when you're talking to him, like things that he's happy about, like the progress or?
He said he likes where they are offensively, certainly without Cade Cunningham too. And I think people forget that too. And yeah, I was working for the team, but again, this is a factual statement. Take the number 1 overall pick, in his second or third year, going into his third year next season. Take the number 1 overall pick off any team. Tell me how they're going to improve.
Yeah.
Tell me how they're going to be better. Tell me how you're going to win. Tell me.
You can. If you would have told me before the season, I think anybody before the season, that Cade Cunningham would basically miss pretty much for all intents and purposes the whole year, I would have said it's a lost season. They're not going to do anything. They might even have less wins than the previous year. So that isn't an excuse. That's a reason. I mean, they haven't. Obviously, you look to guys like Sadiq Bey, who, despite playing super well last night, he's regressed. But it's more about Cade Cunningham, their best player, their leader moving forward, missing the whole year. What are they supposed to do?
Right, and so that's the thing. So take it with a grain of salt. And I understand how they are defensively. They're one of the youngest teams in the NBA, and as Kyrie Irving showed you, sometimes there ain't ish you can do about it. I do want to talk about the Red Wings, which we will. You guys have to fill me in last night. I got like the little updates, and I was keeping up with it. They did what was necessary. It wasn't a thing of beauty.
First star was a cider, and it wasn't Mo. There you go. That's how I knew this old man.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Cintron. That's right. Cintron World's an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages and premium bottled water. Cintron's fashionable, functional, and fun. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and, of course, great taste, Cintron is your top choice. So you know what? Why wait? Buy online at drinkcintron.com. Also available on Amazon. Hit that Prime up. They'll bring it right to your porch. Then you can have your own very own Cintron commercial. So you know what? Why wait? And crack it open and drink it in the store.
Drink it warm.
Drink it warm. Whatever you want to do, man. You can do it. Proud partners with Little Caesars Arena, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Detroit Pistons. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Market, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Get your customized approach to weight loss. Our own Ryan Ermanni has started with Custom Health Centers. He got ripped in like a week and a half.
I got update down 14 going into the weekend.
Okay, so that's what it is. So Ryan Ermanni is on his way. Custom Health Centers, over 20,000 success stories. You can be one as well. They've helped many professional athletes like Detroit Lion Eddie Murray, the Pro Bowl, the MVP, by the way. And, of course, Piston bad boy Rick Mahorn. Saw Rick last night, as a matter of fact. He looks fantastic. You can start losing weight today. Call Dr. Jason and Custom Health at 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-THIN. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. I do want to get into the right. I'm going to be updated, I guess, by you guys and by D-Mac with what happened. I saw like the updates, but obviously did not see any of the game. And also, too, you know, today we're 3 months out from the first round of the NFL draft. And I got to thinking about that because I heard a little draft podcast I listened to. So I'm calling an audible when we go into the next segment.
All right.
We're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it because I'm hearing more murmuring about it.
Well, number two sport in the country is off-season NFL.
Yeah. And
NFL's one, off-season's two.
I want to get the pulse of the people. Like, how real is this possibility? So we'll discuss.
Okay.
We'll discuss. And
we also too I think you might be proud, and we'll talk Red Wings right now, but when we get into that, boys, let's tell them about what we talked about yesterday and how we pretty much used Neal. You came into the conversation.
Oh, really?
You did. So we'll get to that. But last night, Wings, big win.
Bring me up to speed.
Big win, 4-3 win. I think the highlight, though, to start with, is it's the dad's trip. So the back-to-back games, Montreal last night, the New York Islanders tonight. Last year they did a mom's trip. This year they did a dad's trip. And if you see the highlights after some of the goals and after the win last night, that's the little things about when I talk about culture and stuff like this. But Neal, you missed it. There's a clip going around of Mo Sider's dad taunting the Montreal fans when they scored, but he was doing it good, and he was like, I can't hear you, and it looked like they had a great fun. But back to the game, much needed win. What we saw there is a great goal, some of the best saves that I've seen in clutch time, not only by Husso, especially at the buzzer. They almost let in. He made Ozzy said it last night, but Husso, one of his greatest attributes is his lateral mobility, right? And Mike Hoffman, one of their snipers, had a one-timer with like literally 2 seconds left that he got side to side and was able to save it. Also made a big save in overtime because they had to kill a penalty late and kill a 4-on-3 early in the power play. Gave up right before the game winner in overtime. Rasmussen got it blocked. They had a 2-on-0, right? But you see Sider coming back hard. Guy actually made a good move on it, but Husso made a great save, came down the ice the other way. Mo Sider showing offensive ability, again setting and getting in the record books a third assist, by a kid under 21 and stuff like this. So going up, I made a great play to Rasmussen, who showed some great patience to Robbie Fabby for an empty netter. 4-3 win, the 2 points is huge. Now can they do it back-to-back tonight?
And it's the Islanders.
Well, they need to bury him down, and here's the thing. This is what we haven't done this year, right? It goes back to taking care of Toronto in a home game during the week and then absolutely laying an egg to Columbus at home, right? Reeling in your own division are the Islanders. I think they've lost 6 straight, something like that. So now you have to take advantage, and this would go such a long way as having a weekend off and putting some wins back-to-back, Neal. And honestly, how could you not get ready for coming back from All-Star break and say, hey, you know what? They're exactly where I thought they would be a couple games out. If they win a few more games, they could be in the playoffs. So you want to hope that they get better too. So I saw some things last night that showed improvement, but it's just the jelly of the team.
And, just being consistent. The one thing that I talk about with this hockey team, and they just won't let you off the hook with the playoff stuff, man. Every time they pop up and win a game, the first thing I do is I go right to the wild card standings and take a look. I feel like I'm 11 again, reading the newspaper on a Sunday morning on the living room floor. But you look at it there, and the Islanders, all of a sudden, they're falling apart. Like they've lost 6 in a row. That's why tonight it's even extra, D-Mac, because the Islanders tonight have to draw that line in the sand. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you want to use sort of analogy what we saw in the football game, this is like the Lions going into Green Bay to where you can really hamper somebody in your division. Right. It's a 4-point game. Why do we say 4-point game? Because
someone's going to get 2 and someone's going to get 0.
Right, exactly. So it's the swing. And this is what the second half of the season that it really comes down to, especially when you play teams from the Eastern Conference. So, yeah, kick them when they're down, Neal. You have to.
You have to, and that's what it is. And XYYX says 7 points behind the Penguins, which is true. They do have a game at hand, though. We can start talking about it, right?
Yeah. Right? We definitely can, especially if they win at New York going into the All-Star break on a 3-game winning streak, coming back from the All-Star break with a 3-game homestand. Yeah. I'll tell you what, if they win at New York tonight, I might start talking real reckless. The playoff hopes for me will be back.
Simmer said, I don't need you talking reckless about keep that to your teams and stuff like that. I appreciate your excitement, Sam, but we don't need to get there just yet. I will let you taper that until the trade deadline's over, right? So if you want to, there's all this excitement. If you want to jump in there and look at what's going on right now,
Flannel, you and I can talk about it. Don't text it in the show thread. Just you and I can text it together, all right? If they win tonight, I'll raise my eyebrow.
And I'll allow that.
Okay.
I'll allow that. Keep it away from me. I don't need any of that. Hey, Scott Frost, remember?
Yeah, 100%.
That's all I'm saying,
100%.
That's all I'm saying. There's a reason for me being that way.
Yeah, IT Hips says, time for the Red Wings to heat up. Let's go. And that is, it does reaffirm. And I reaffirmed myself after a bad loss. And I checked in with D-Mac. And I said, you know what? I was heated before, but then I thought about it. And I said, the team is improved. Like, the bottom line is the team is improved from last year. And it reaffirmed what I thought, what I saw on opening night when we were down there. And this further cements that. They're a real NHL team. Like, they can win games. They can. Now, they've proven they can lose games, but they can win games. You can't get it all in one, you can't get it all in one offseason. So, why not? I feel like I had to readjust my attitude about it. Almost like when you're in Vegas and you get on a heater and you take that original steak and you put it in your pocket and you got their money.
Reckless.
We're free rolling, right?
Absolutely.
We're free rolling. So I'm treating this as a bit of a free roll. I know they're better. I have that in my back pocket. That's my stake, right? That's the money I came to the casino with. I have that in my back pocket. We're not touching that, depending, on how the other events of the night go. But anyway, we're not touching that. We have that. We're playing with this house money here. So you know what? F it, man. Let's roll with it. Whatever happens, happens. Sam, I'll text you if they win tonight.
But here's the thing, right? The attitude that we have now, to me, this is me, is next year's attitude, right? We're holding them too close to the fire. We got a coach that hasn't even finished his first season here, implementing his systems. We got team and young guys that are 20, 21 years old that are making an impact. We got things to look at. Yes, we have places to look in, and we're going to have to improve upon, whether that's through trade, through signings, through drafts, but he's still using we called it with Scotty, the bingo balls, right? He's still moving guys around to play with them. Spenny mentioned it yesterday, one of the big reasons, and I've said it all along, but look at what happens when you put Rasmussen on the wing. Mm-hmm. Wow, he's really starting, not only in the score sheet, you see him show up a lot more, but you literally notice him on the ice, the effectiveness. So, there's learning. It's different things, like Coach Salon in his interview yesterday was talking about Jonathan Berggren, and forget about the points. Johnny Burgers is the fact that his play on the wall, his defensive play, his two-way play. So these are things that usually you don't notice as a fan because you're about wins or losses and goals and points and assists, but they are the things, the foundational things that are being put in place, right? At the end of the day, this coach, man, why this is his first year coaching. Remember, he comes from a great organization, but does he not get at least a year the benefit of the doubt, right, to see what we got? Because at the end of the day, you're right, Neal. We are better. We are improving. We will get there. It's just when. So you guys be excited. I just don't want the Sam Stank on my team right yet.
And that's fair. And Sam Flannel has to wear that because he told you Scott Frost was on his way. He told you Nebraska was back. He told you Michigan.
And what he did with Ozzy yesterday just was not acceptable. So
yeah,
I'm holding him
now
out.
I heard about that real quick because we're up against
you saw
it.
Capitals in Reckless last night in his Osgood tape. Well, here's the whole thing. Anybody who joined yesterday when we had the conversation, what was a bigger diss, Lou Whitaker to the Baseball Hall of Fame or Chris Osgood to the Hockey Hall of Fame, right?
I think they're very, very similar.
But here's the whole thing, is that when somebody wants to, and just the argument that, he was only a second baseman, these guys didn't see Lou Whitaker play. Somebody brought that up, is that they don't have the eyeball test on Lou Whitaker. We do have the eyeball test on Lou Whitaker, so we know.
No, but see, here's the thing, though, like,
the best
even for
baseman.
Flannel, and I know we're up against it, but even for Flannel, though, blind resume, Joe Morgan and Lou Whitaker. Blind resume it.
I mean, I would say Joe Morgan has a better case, but to me, and I know this is going to sound harsh, I think a lot of those second basemen should not be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Lou Whitaker once won a Silver Slugger for having 16 home runs, 59 RBIs, and a .265 average. Second basemen are notoriously light hitting. A lot of them, even Ryan Sandberg, I question his case.
But he's one of the best second basemen to ever play.
But it's the second base position. Yeah. I don't understand. Anyways, so
great and part of the greatest double play duo, and for all the old heads and everything like that. the greatest double play duo to ever play the game.
He said defense doesn't matter.
I didn't say it doesn't matter.
Oh, it
I said
doesn't,
that it's
and why would you want?
It does when you're the best to ever do something.
That's what should that not be in the Hall of Fame and
Yes.
not have
Ozzie Smith. Now you want to take get mad and get pissed about Ozzie Smith being in there. Then.
Dude, we can 100% agree on that. Ozzie Smith should be nowhere near the Hall of Fame, and he was a first balloter.
But he is in, and if he's in, then Lou Whitaker should be in.
You know what? If we want to go by that logic, then I'm okay with that. I would say if Carlos Beltran isn't in, Lou Whitaker shouldn't be in. Hell, and I said this yesterday, if Prince Fielder isn't in, Lou Whitaker shouldn't be in. By the numbers, Prince Fielder was actually
he's a first baseman, though.
But he was a dominant first baseman for like 7 years. He had 50 home run seasons, 40 home run seasons, 2 seasons with 1,000 OPS, 4 seasons with 400 on base percentage. So to me, the standards for second baseman and their hitting are so low.
Kirk Romero says, no, Sam, I specifically said defense doesn't matter. So
I didn't
you
say
said
it doesn't matter.
Did you say it or no?
I said that it's not as important as pitching and hitting. And that's
I read
indisputable.
that as it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Something
I dropped F-bombs. He dropped some reckless stuff.
D-Mac did drop
Bottom line,
he did.
Scott Frost. That's it. So we're not going to go here. I'm going to your Scott Frost.
This will sum that up before we go to the break and Spenny tells you about a lobster roll, because that's what I want. Tim France, fire this clown. All right, tell him about Cousins' Maine Lobster.
Sam does a very good job.
He's a very fine broadcaster.
Very fine broadcaster. Let me tell you guys about Cousins Maine Lobster, though, because Cousins Maine Lobster brings the best of the Maine lobster coast to Detroit. Try the variety of sweet, succulent Maine lobster menu items and their 2 food trucks rolling around the city. You can find their events scheduled on cousinsmainelobster.com and through their mobile app, where you can easily order ahead and earn rewards. You can even scan that QR code right there and figure out where they are rolling around the city. So make sure you check out Cousins Maine Lobster.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Happy Friday. Why don't you let Guardian Alarm Customized Solution, real expert professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs, whether personal or business. But I need you to call the number today, 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed, but I need you to call 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserve technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Even Sam Flannel, guys. Even Sam Flannel, you know how we can get into it here, but you know what? He's got flannel protection. How many straight days?
202.
202 straight days of protecting the flannel. If you got something that you need protected, business, personal, whatever it is, make sure you call him today, 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of the end zone this Sunday, Joe Burrow.
Not going to happen. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them, Big D Energy. We sent you.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rackstein here with you. Happy to have you along for the ride. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump in there. It's pretty much going for Sam Flannel as you think it would be going right now. You know how it is. He does this to himself. Every so often he pops up and he does this to himself. You know, do you ever get that feeling like he's digging his way out of the holes? And then, like, as he gets to the top,
sometimes he has some sort of redemption. You know, like he picks up the socks and might throw them towards the, you know, the laundry area and stuff like that. Maybe he moves something out of the driveway so he wouldn't run it over. I see that, but then all of a sudden, you know, next thing you know, doesn't rinse off his plate, put it in the dishwasher.
No.
How hard is that?
How hard is that?
Like the little stuff that you know, Mom.
God, you triggered me, dude. I fight that battle every day of my life.
Like how hard from here to here?
It's next to the sink.
Get the timer out.
It's
Show
next
the
to the
time.
sink.
I get it. But that's how
it's next to the sink.
But right, so
you passed it to take the dish to the sink. You passed it.
That's exactly how I feel.
I get triggered about that, as you can tell.
And you could tell I get triggered about certain things when it comes to my boys or the red and white. Other than that, probably really don't care.
Cristiano, you passed the dishwasher on your way to the sink to rinse off the dish. You literally passed it. And you'll pass it when you turn around and walk away. You'll pass it twice. Come on.
Be better.
What's hard about that? What goes through your mind when you think, don't you think, never mind, okay, that's it. Alicia says, oh great, now we triggered Neal. Well, my children triggered me. Although there is no trigger like the way your children can trigger you. I will say that. But I did want to talk because we are exactly 3 months to the day away from round 1 of the NFL draft.
Just first, before we start off here, yesterday we talked about Jalen Ramsey, right? And the first thing we brought up was the fact that the cap hit was $25 million. So then we stopped talking about Jalen Ramsey. That was where we all agree. Now, was that right? Because the number, like I said, that first of all, I'd need to know that he wants to be here, but that's way, 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 way too much, right, Neal? Like, does that put him out, or is there something there that we're all missing?
Well, let me get a quick perusal before we get into to what I want to discuss. Just let me take a look here.
Because my theory was if you're going to spend bigger money, right?
You know what?
Job.
I don't hate it because obviously if you trade for him, he's going to be here next year. So that number, you know, it's a $25 million hit. That would be pretty much all you are going to do. It would be that in the draft. But there's a fairly easy parachute to get out of it.
There is.
After he turns 30, so it lightens up. You know, I what's my line, D-Mac? I always get accused of, you know, being like Donald Sterling in the Clippers owner or whatever, which I am not. I will pay for quality. I'll pay for quality. He's pretty quality. I mean, I don't think he's what he was 2 years ago or whatever, but whatever. He changes some things.
But you're having this conversation.
I'll have the conversation.
I think the fact is like we're taking the temperature is the fact that you're telling me no, it's not as bad as you think. If he's your guy, right? If he's your guy, I just don't think we're ready yet. The money to spend there might be better off on Edmonds, on a linebacker to what we need. But you're saying if this was the last piece, if this was your guy that put you over the edge, 100%. You could do it.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's some clarity for everybody, like to wonder.
It's not as bad as you would think it is.
Okay, so that's good. So that's why if you hear the conversations keep going, that Detroit's involved in these conversations, don't let it hurt your head because like it's going to ruin your salary. There are ways out. Neal told you that it could happen if they want it.
People Pleaser says, I'm not paying a corner top money. I'd rather draft young, athletic guys. But People Pleaser, that Jalen Ramsey thing is a lot like my safety discussion when the clowns were talking about drafting Kyle Hamilton at number 2. You know, why would I give, and that's why I won't take a corner at 6. Because why would I give a corner a $9 million, $9 million fourth-year salary when, you know, the best one in the game is making, with the safety example anyway, the best safety in the game is making $15 million. Why am I going to pay a guy $9 million that I don't know if he's good or not? I'll just tack 6 more on it and get the best in the game, or one of the best in the game, at least the best that you can get. So it is a little different for me. Even old cheap Neal that doesn't want to sign anybody. I would kick the tires on that. That is fair. I tend to side with D-Mac that maybe you're a year away from that, and I would also contend like the price for a Jalen Ramsey goes up after next year because it's very easily maneuvered to get out of that contract. So, but those are discussions we'll have. But as we said, we are 3 months away from the NFL draft, and I'm calling the audible on everybody here in the room. They don't know this is coming, but here we are. Give me one more, Sam. Oh, yeah. All right, now we're ready to go. All right, here it is. 6-18. And I'm hearing this more and more. We're hearing this from people within this network. Pick number 18. The Anthony Richardson thing. All right, the whole quarter, and I don't know where this popped up. Like the whole Tom Brady to the Lions thing. I saw that going crazy everywhere. I'm like,
wait, what?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was tapped into the heavyweights.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of the clips and stuff like that.
Appreciate that.
I know.
Was that an easy take?
No, that was an Ermanni. That was an Ermanni take.
Of course it was. Yeah. Does he want to sign Drew Henson too while we're at it? 248. I get it. I don't understand, and this is why you're valuable to have here, Spenny, because you're as anti-Jared Goff as it gets.
Yeah.
But you're reasonable.
I am.
You say even I can't be anti-Jared Goff after what he did this year. I am just not in the business of this. Now, I'll have the debate. We can have the discussion. If you are a quarterback in the draft person, give me the why. Because as I sit right now, I believe the window is open for the Detroit Lions now. A quarterback does not help you like Teddy KGB. It does not help you. What's he going to quarterback next year? What's he going to quarterback the year after that? And through all that as well, the bottom line for me with the whole Jared Goff and the whole quarterback discussion is that people are acting like Jared Goff is 36 years old.
No, he's 20.
He's 28.
28, yeah. I was going to say he's younger than I thought. Yeah, he's 28. So
where's this coming? Somebody help me. And again, I'm not here to attack.
So you're the guy that's always, Neal, you're the guy that's always, right, get the quarterback on the first to whatever it is. But obviously when I'm thinking of this is no. Because we need – Brad Holmes drafts guys that can play, even if it's guys that are injured, but it's more of a position player. To me, where you're at right now, that'd be more of a conversation with your first-round pick next year if you're really looking to back it up. Brad Holmes came out and said that they're not going to be in the same position as they were this year. They're going to address their backup quarterback. So if they do in the draft – but isn't it later? Unless you are absolutely sold, like you said, Anthony Richardson's 18, that he is the next in 2 years. You're going to Jordan Love him, Aaron Rodgers him, let him sit on his rookie deal, and then bring him out. I don't see how it makes sense with what Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Lions have built in the last couple of years. It doesn't play on to their track record.
It doesn't align.
Well, right, and you could say, well, they drafted Pascal, who was hurt, and they drafted Williams, who was hurt. Yeah, but that was always the future move for that position piece to once again. I think that they thought Pascal would end up getting healthy and play like he did, and I think JMO was a little. They used kit gloves with him because they were always thinking of next year. Right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it does. What does it do for this team? Because if you're going to say a guy that's going to literally sit behind a guy that you're paying for 2 years that even if he's the next greatest thing since sliced bread, you already have your quarterback.
Right, and that's where it is with me.
It doesn't make sense to what Brad Holmes has done in the past as far as trying to get guys that will eventually be your starters.
Spenny, can we throw it up on the poll, woodwardsports.com chat poll? And look, I'm not bussing on anybody or anything like that. Just give me the why. We're adults. We can have you taking a quarterback with a first-round draft pick. Very simple.
It's going to be like 95% no.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I don't get that feeling when you peruse. And look, the loudest people in the room are usually they're usually in the minority, right? Mm-hmm. But however, I keep seeing this and I keep hearing it. And I don't understand. And to back up D-Mac's point, and I should be thinking about this, to where you say they did it with Pascal and they did it with JMO.
But they thought they were going to play. They were going to get healthy and they were going to play.
Yeah, I mean, they knew that JMO was pretty much a
No, but
by and large are right
what
off
I'm
here.
saying, and this is a different situation where you're seriously going to have to shelf a guy for 2 years because of the quarter, at least for the next year. I know learn behind, but is that the first round where the team's at, where we're expecting them to compete for the NFC North, compete for a home playoff? You need a player of talent
on the field
to help you get there on
the field. And you need... You don't have to be...
And here to this, too, Neal, is maybe what they learned with the Pascal or with the JMO. Like, I think you're right. JMO, they were willing to, if he didn't play the year. Pascal might have been behind schedule. So, you know what? They're not going to run into that situation. But Pascal, too, was a second rounder, not a first rounder.
Here's going to be a good one for you, Spenny, as I transition into this big boy read. Mm-hmm. You talk about bars. Hey, and you don't have to be a player, but you can crush a lot of comfort foods at Big Boy. Wintertime in Detroit's always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the classic meatloaf, right, Spenny?
Give me the loaf.
Cajun chicken Alfredo. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The Lumberjack, the Santa Fe Garden, or the Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Still a player and you still a hater.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning. We find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. Don't forget to pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. Right, Spenmo?
Oh, yeah.
27 locations, more on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. They have the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. It's Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tan?
Yeah. Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, talking NFL Draft. WoodwardSports.com. Chat poll. Are you taking a quarterback in the first round? Very simple question. 83% of you say no. So see, Spenny? It's more than you think.
Yeah.
It's more than you think. CJ Schneider. If Anthony Richardson, and I'm looking for discourse like this. If Anthony Richardson is there at 18, his cap hit is minimal, and you're able to develop him, is the logic. Goff going to want an extension. We can look at the Eagles as a reason to take the rookie deal quarterback. And guys, look, you know where I live with that. Here's the thing for me. Goff is 28. And you can't go back to, you have data, right? Like, this was a Pro Bowl caliber season. That's factual, right?
Factual.
All right. Oh, I got 4 of them. So, yeah, okay. This was a Pro Bowl caliber season. Even Spenmo Rax had to give Goff his flowers.
Yes.
And I do enjoy a good rookie contract, as you know. Maybe no one enjoys it more than me.
If the rookie contract was bourbon, what kind of bourbon would it be?
Oh, I think the rookie contract would be that Eagle Rare.
Okay, there it is.
Where it's like $33 a bottle, but you can't get it anywhere because everybody loves it so much.
Except in New York.
And if you got people.
Yes. So there you go, the Eagle Rare. So that's how Neal, he cherishes as much as we know how much Neal cherishes his bourbon.
Right. But Jared Goff is 28 years old. It's not like, and look, I'll get into it. The thing with me, and I've held true with this since the day the Lions got him, I was a little miffed at the extension when they traded for him. However, after I saw Holmes operate, I saw what he was doing. Stretch it out, lower the cap number. I saw what he was doing. He had to cleanse the soul of the financials of this team. And D-Mac, again, at $30 million, he outperformed $30 million. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So then it's a positive investment.
I would say.
Baseline. He produced more than what he was worth.
My question when you bring that up is are they going to be able to do the same? Will they be looking to do the same thing again with Goff at a lower number, stretch out the, or is that something that we're working away from? Because I think at 28, people don't realize that's sort of, so he's in right now, this year, next year, the year after, that's the, the heart of his career. So I mean that it actually speaks better for him that he can go back to back with the same OC with the age that he is. There's age ain't a thing. It's
D-Mac, when you were a 28-year-old player, were you better than when you were a 24-year-old player?
Yes, I was in the middle of winning cups.
Is that pretty much?
I didn't win a cup till I was 25.
Right. That's pretty much how it works, right? It's pretty much universal, you would say, right? You're healthy.
Got to learn how to win.
Yeah, if you're healthy.
It depends on what situation you go to, but yeah. Coming into your own. Can we agree that we've seen, like, Jared Goff came into his own this year? Now, if he can extend it and repeat it and stuff like this, and we were talking yesterday about how many interceptions you expect him to throw, and we all agreed that it will probably be up. Right? Like this year, we don't hold him to the fire to repeat this year. It's not the guy, but he's got to be around it, don't you think?
Yeah, he's got to be in the ballpark.
In the ballpark, because everything is playing well towards him.
Now you'll have people have people like the Easies of the world that say, "Well, he threw 13 interceptions this year." As one gets tipped at the line or whatever.
Yeah, but they're going to throw more shots to James. I would hope that there's more balls, deep balls downfield to your speedy guy that. Sometimes, there might be interceptions because of that. You might lose a few.
313 Sports Guru says, Neal, you kind of look like Goff.
I don't see that.
At the bank. At the bank. That's what he's saying in the bank line.
Yeah.
When it comes to number of furnaces. Yeah.
When it comes to number of furnaces. I just don't get it. Why is Goff... Like, why this clamoring to replace him and get him out of town? But again, Spenmo, help me understand it. People talk like he's 36 years old.
Yeah, I mean...
It's Goff. Hey, Spenny, can you open your mind to the fact that maybe he's developed and maybe he's getting better and maybe he could be really good? Or no?
No.
No? Okay.
Here's the question. What's more of the truth? L.A. Goff or Detroit Goff?
Well, we've seen this from LA Goff before.
Yeah, we've seen this from Goff when he has an elite play caller, an elite offense designed around him. He can do this for sure. But it's not something that will take you over the top.
What do you mean it won't take you over the top? You don't need him to take you over the top. That's where you put everything around him, sort of.
I mean,
you don't think he's got what it takes to cash
win a
one in?
Super Bowl? No.
I guess he still hates Goff. Did you see enough to know what the things around? Because to me, it's more who's going to be there, and your quarterback doesn't hamstring.
Well, see, D-Mac, here's my qualifier.
Team.
Here's a qualifier, and you know where this is. And I think that I have a structural, philosophical difference than Spenny does, or Easy does, or any of the other, Goff. I don't want to call them haters because Spenny's capable.
Criticizers?
Yeah, that's fair.
Truthers.
No, not truthers. I don't like that term. But anyway, here's the thing for me. Jared Goff at a discount to the quarterback market, I will roll with. At $30 million when other quarterbacks are making $40. In a world where Kyler Murray's making $47 million.
Yeah, so for the next 2 years, because he's going to want to raise if he continues to play like
But
this.
what if he does? What if it's like that? That's what my question was about extending it out. Like, because the question you asked at the beginning, this year, did Jared Goff, from what he's getting paid, is there value to it? If you can always answer that question, yes. I saw somebody in the chat say Goff should do what Brady did, right, and help out the other team. Who says that? He won't. Like the deferred, he's already showed that he'll defer to help the team out. I think this is a question that is going to be coming up, not this year, but more so next year and stuff like this as a team goes. Because here, Neal, you said it. Because he's only 28. So it's still the big question to be answered. You expect him, Spenny, to go out there for the top dollar, but maybe not. Mm-hmm. Maybe not. There's still, like, here's the one thing is that I would think because of Goff's history, and he showed that he will play ball with the organization, maybe that conversation to him is different than other quarterbacks, and also what they're building here. I'm hoping, but I think he's your quarterback for longer.
And Brandon Katz says, Goff is only $10 million less than other quarterbacks. Okay, Brandon, that's one way to put it. Or he's 25% less and achieving at a level that's Pro Bowl caliber. You see, we can both play games with numbers, my friend. You know what I'm saying? I think mine sounds a little more impressive, but they're both factually true. And again, we're in a world where Kyler Murray makes $47 million. They willingly signed him to that. And it doesn't matter what you think, he's a bum or whatever, that's what he signed. So you know what, when Lamar Jackson comes up, he says, I'm getting more than that clown is.
Josh Allen gets a $30 million raise next year. Yeah. Their window is closed.
It's closing, no doubt. It's closing. And that's where with the Lions, that's all the more reason why you can't do this quarterback stuff. These windows slam shut, man. Mm-hmm. They slam shut. One day you wake up and the window's closed. And for the Lions, the window started to open in the second half of this year. Next year, if you expect a division championship, and that will lead into my next question, my next poll, as a WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Are you taking a quarterback in the first round? 83% of you say no, and that was fairly consistent. Spenny, the one going into the next segment. Do you expect the Lions to win the division this year? Do you expect? You see me walking everybody down to the park right now, don't you? You see where I'm going with this?
I knew it. Listen, what do you think I grabbed my coat for? Yeah. I knew we'd be outside for a minute.
I know you guys are riding the bike and Dad's running behind you right now, holding the seat.
Sure, your helmet's done up.
But now at the next segment, I'm going to let you go, and you're going to pedal yourself.
That's fair.
And you're either going to ride the bike, or you're going to fall on the concrete, and then I'll have to get the stupid peroxide out and clean up all the cuts and all that kind of stuff. But yes, that's the question we're going with. Real talk, bottom line. Do you expect the Lions to win the division next year? That's what I got to know, and that's what we're going to find out, and that's what we're going to discuss when we come back after Sam Flannel tells you about what? Turkey and Swiss sandwich?
No, not turkey and Swiss, but Swiss Insurance, of course. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Many businesses choose a January 1st effective date. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give us a shot and you won't be disappointed. Email them at mark@swissins.com. That is mark@swissins.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle, baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for the Monroe Street Midway Minute. That's right, you guys know it's still on and popping all winter season long in downtown Detroit. Got the stuff for the kids, the winter bumper cars, the Arctic slide, all of that. The puck putt, D-Mac will be over there acting the fool, the Midway Arcade. And if you're not like a cold weather person like me, there's other avenues that you can
There's other
partake
ways
in
to
as
act
well.
the fool.
There's other ways to act the fool, and I endorse it. You can get down there to the lodge, engage in some adult beverages if you choose. They have heated tents and everything like that, but you do get to be outside in the winter. And I was in New York City yesterday, and it was cool to see all the people moving around and doing their thing in the city outside. Detroit has their Monroe Street Midway out there, so you too can go downtown before or after a game downtown, slide on over there, see what's going on. You might bump into Sam Flannel and his in-laws. They're down there hanging out. Spenmo will be crushing food, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Mac and cheese bites.
Mac and cheese bites. Eat 100 of them. Anything. You could eat 100 of anything that has bites in the title, right?
Yeah, probably.
Fair. He knows what he's about, and you guys can be about wintertime in Detroit also. So slide on down to the Monroe Street Midway in downtown Detroit. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more info. Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rockstar here in the building. And happy to have you all with us. First time checking out the show, welcome. And jump in at woodwardsports.com chat thread, and make sure too you follow all of Woodward Sports social media outlets. And I got the question up there right now through Spenmo Rackster. Do you expect the Lions to win the NFC North next season? 86% of you say yes. That's a shut book to me then. You're not taking a quarterback. This Anthony Richardson talk that people are trying to run through there, and a quarterback that you can groom, you can't have it both ways, man. Because if you expect to win the division, then you expect to contend for the Super Bowl, right? Right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Home game, home playoff game. Not only win that, but you have that on your sights. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, you get a home playoff game, you win it. You're one of 8 teams with a shot to win the Super Bowl. Like, that's what it is. I know that we're not used to this, and it's weird, and it's foreign. We're not used to thinking like this.
There it is. There it is.
We're
in new waters, right? New waters with the greatest GM in Lions history, right? Terry Foster, came out and claimed that, and he's seen more games than all of us. So the fact is, drafting guys, Neal, that will play immediately to help this team. And I think that's what's coming out of Ford Field, out of Allen Park. But here's the one thing. What would it mean, right? Here's where you're at. If they did go out and pick him, if Brad Holmes went out and picked Anthony Richardson or quarterback at 18, well, if we're sitting here going, no blasphemy, he hasn't made a bad move or whatever, there's a reason for it. So then we'd have to investigate that. But to your point, does it get us closer to a division? What gets us closer to the division championship and a home playoff game and our first, home or our first win in a long time? It's drafting somebody that's going to come in and be effective. And a first rounder, you expect them to come in and play and be effective, just like we see across the league. We talked yesterday about how in all of sports, the younger the age, coming up and being impactful right out of the bat. It doesn't matter if it's hockey, baseball, basketball, football, right? Guys are ready to play. So you need that ready-to-play guy. For this team, we all think it's a defensive cornerback or a linebacker because that's a thing of need to get us if we're going to win next year. I going in, barring injuries and stuff like this, think that we have the best team in the NFC or the ability to put it together. That's going with free agency, what I think Brad Holmes will do to add to this team and in the draft. So that's just expectations of what I have for my leader and for my team. Because I think they think the same thing, Neal. Do you think that what do you think?
No,
how would you answer the question?
Well, I'm actually looking at another question here, too, that Jake Wagner asked. He said, if you expect the team is good enough to win the division already, then the team is good enough that you can spend one of 2 first-round picks on a quarterback and still have enough to add to the defense, too. But then, Jake, I would say, if you expect that, then you're happy with your quarterback. Your 28-year-old quarterback. Like, we need to stop saying Jared Goff is your quarterback. And we need to say, your 28-year-old quarterback that just had a Pro Bowl caliber season. Because that's what it is. That's not what I think. That's what it is. And that's not blasphemous. That's not crazy. Sam, you got kind of that smirk on your face right now.
No,
That's what it is.
Jared Goff, he had a phenomenal year last year. I mean, at least by his standards, a Pro Bowl caliber year. He's 28 years old, and to me, the only way that I would even consider drafting a quarterback in the first round is if a crazy thing like Bryce Young drops to number 6. But all this Anthony Richardson talk, I hate Anthony Richardson as a prospect. I think that he is he's a quarterback who can't throw. He had 53.8% completion percentage in college. He was 9 of 27 in the game at Florida State. He was out-dueled by Will Levis in the battle of the most overrated quarterback prospects ever, throwing 14 of 35 for 143 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. So to me, all this Anthony Richardson talk needs to stop immediately. That's what angers me even more. Because the quarterback discussion, like I said, Bryce Young's not falling to 6. If he does, I think he's an elite prospect. I wouldn't mind if the Lions took him. But in theory, I expect the Lions to win the division this year as well. And
then you got to solidify your defense.
2 more first-round picks that play right away, you would think would help, because the defense, despite being a lot better in the last 10 games of the season, was the weak spot. And I think there are 2 defensive prospects that they can plug and play right away at the 6 and 18, if at all possible. And Brad Holmes, he has shown a propensity to have 2 great drafts in a row. I expect him to have another one.
And certainly, too. And I will say this comes with a qualifier. If we're down there doing our draft show, and that comes across, and somebody was talking about, watch C.J. Stroud will be there, and if they do, they're going to take him. And if he is out there, and they do take him, I'm not gonna pull an Adam Baydoun and smash the table in half or anything like that. It's just Brad Holmes, if anybody in this town,
blind faith,
100%, 100%. If that's what he deems what it is, okay. And like I said, that'll be bad for hot take theater that we're accused of here and stuff like that. I know that'll be bad for hot take theater. I'll just be like, Brad Holmes said so. It's a lot like D-Mac.
That's
when he talks about Steve
Yzerman.
Yzerman.
He's second because Yzerman's first because he's tenured, but he's proven right along the lines that they read out of the same GM book.
Right. So for me, it's one of those things where I would tell you this: if he took a quarterback at 6, I would be less upset by that than if he took a cornerback at 6.
There you go. Yeah, because the money makes sense.
Because the money makes sense.
Right. So if you were going to get your quarterback of one of the 3 guys that you love, that in this scenario, yes.
It's like last
year. And does this make sense? Because even if the 2 guys, you got to almost let the cornerback fall to 18 and try to get him there because of the money.
Right.
Where the quarterback you can draft there, even though you might have wanted the cornerback that you're going to draft and hope fall to 18, you would have picked him at 6, but you can't because it
doesn't
goes
line
to the
up.
books.
Yeah, it doesn't line up that way, and it's just for me with Goff being very, very affordable in today's quarterback day and age. Because you watch, Daniel Jones is going to get Goff money
next year. A lot of those contracts are going to hit. A couple more quarterbacks are going to get signed. Derek Carr is going to get a payday. Daniel Jones is going to get a payday.
Geno Smith's going to get Goff money.
Smith's going to get Goff money.
Real quick, Neal, can I? One of the things that yesterday you saw Nathaniel Hackett hired OC by the Jets.
Yeah,
we mentioned. Is that just pretty much writing on the wall that Rodgers is? You think that they have a bigger them hiring that means that they're going to make a bigger play for Aaron Rodgers because of the their
Jets,
relationship?
Man,
2 MVPs with Hackett as OC.
The Jets, other than signing Braylon Edwards, do some of the dumbest-ish that franchises. They are desperate, and they're desperate for a quarterback, and they're going to do something stupid.
But does it paint writing on the wall?
I think so.
That they're at least going to put a big offer.
But I get it.
If they don't get him, it's not because they didn't try.
Right. But I get it, though, right? They feel that their defense is ready to roll right now. Because that got me to thinking, too, about the whole cornerback stuff in the that discussion we were having with the Lions pick. Sauce Gardner is he's elite.
Yeah.
People are saying
first team All-Pro.
He's the best cornerback in the league.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
As a rook.
Yeah.
And the Lions had a chance to take him.
They did.
They took Hutchinson instead, which I was cool with.
I was very cool with.
Because I didn't want to step up to that crap table.
I thought Hutchinson was going 1.
Yeah, I didn't want to step up to that crap table.
Yeah.
But when you roll the 7, you roll the 7.
Yeah.
So I guess I got to walk that back about the cornerback talk at 6. If they take one and he is him.
Christian Gonzalez.
But it's got to be him.
But I don't see him out there.
Christian Gonzalez is him.
Is he Sauce Gardner?
Yeah, but did he have Nick Saban saying, we were messing with that dude? Like Nick Saban saying that.
Well, think about the conversation if Sauce Gardner was Jeff Okudah at 3. If that's what it was, right? You never have this conversation. You would have the conversation that it's tough, the money, but you can't miss, and thank God we didn't miss, because we're in a world where we did. And now you're coming up to the ramifications of drafting a corner third and having to pay him $10 million.
Right.
I think, obviously Sauce is the magnum opus of corners that you draft early, but I do think Christian Gonzalez can be in that J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain, Derek Stingley situation.
Okay.
I like him a lot.
Magnum opus. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that even more.
That's deep.
Sounds expensive.
Thank you.
Where you catch that from?
I was talking about Duel of Fates by James Williams, the Star Wars song, because I saw it in live concert and sent it in my group chat, and my friend said, that's Williams' magnum opus. I was like, yeah, I'm going to use that.
That is pretty strong. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Peaceful Tim, what if Hutch was gone? Would Holmes have picked Sauce?
No, he would have gone Thibodeau.
Yeah, probably because
they told Thibodeau they were drafting him because they thought Hutch was going 1.
Yeah. So I mean, what about if you knew?
Oh, if you knew Sauce goes 1.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But what about the people? And there's a lot of them that are in the chat right now, just pegging Hutch is better than Sauce. Hutch is better than Sauce. Rather have Hutch. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
You sorry.
It's to whatever fits your position. Here's the thing: if you took Hutch out and put Sauce in your defense, right? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yes, there's some plays, but you had guys play around it. Sauce would make more of an impact in your defense. What if you took Sauce out of the Jets' defense and put Hutch in there? You know what I'm saying?
Well, my thing with it is that Hutches are easier to find than Sauces are.
You know who Sauce that might be there in the 2nd round? Emmanuel Forbes, Mississippi State.
And they produce corners.
I have an affinity for.
He's long.
I have an affinity for corners out of Mississippi State.
Isn't that Stingley or Woolen or one of the young Woolen? Where did that? We were talking about this yesterday too.
Oh, from Seattle.
Yeah, there's the value. Other than Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, but the fact that you got a couple guys and there are guys out there, right? There are guys out there that can play. So. The object is you want to be Seattle and pick one later.
Shane Sandrock says, just say F it and trade the 2 firsts for Sauce. You ain't getting Sauce.
Yeah,
Sauce is unobtainable.
Yes, like Taylor Horton Tucker was.
Yeah.
But actually unobtainable.
No, he is unobtainable. There's no way that Sauce is going to be a Jet for life.
For sure.
As long as they're,
He's going to get paid the most money.
But you just said that the Jets do some dumb things other than
draft Sauce. That one was pretty smart. I'm talking about signing and trading for folks.
Yeah,
and drafting Zach Wilson.
Yeah. But then they took Sauce and totally redeemed themselves.
Zach Wilson was going into the draft. Everybody thought he was going to be the 2nd best quarterback in the draft.
Not over here. The second I saw his face when he walked on that stage, I knew it was over.
That is true. When he was looking, that is a very, very funny video.
Yeah, I knew it was
Zach
over
Wilson?
for him.
Yeah. Done.
We're not in Utah anymore.
Yeah, doesn't pack the gear.
Shove him somewhere where we're somewhere out of the radar, but New York and that, no, it would never going to work. But what does work, Neal?
I'll tell you what, working out at Planet Fitness, that definitely works. And Planet Fitness is studio sponsor here at Woodward Sports and also home of the Judgment Free Zone where you can work out for just $10 a month. You can also upgrade to the Black Card. You basically own Planet Fitness at that point. Unlimited guest privileges, hydro massage chairs, and more. Join today in club. You'll pass a couple on the way home. Just pull in the parking lot there and join. Or log on to your computer. PlanetFitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Where your fitness is essential.
I love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rexta here in the building. Happy to have you all with us. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. That's perking up all of a sudden. Tim K. Jeff Okudah had more tackles in one game than Sauce Gardner will have in his career. Tim, because they don't F with Sauce. They stay away from his side of the field. People hate Sauce
Should have
Gardner
known
around
that
here.
when Nick Saban said that, the national championship.
That sold it for me. I was like, I know that we're terrified because of the Okudah thing, and I was too. Like, I know we are. But Nick Saban never said anything like that about Jeff Okudah. He's like, I got all the rarities.
Sauce is a Detroit guy.
I don't get that either. Because he's got all the Ferraris, and he wasn't even messing with him. Yeah. So, but whatever. In the summertime, we'll dust that one off and get everybody fired up, right? Because we just do hot takes here.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was told. So we just do hot takes. I'll save that one.
What is a hot take?
For a Wednesday in July.
Scott Frost being back is a hot take.
Yeah.
No, but he loves Scott Frost. That was the worst take ever.
You believe that in your heart, though. I will give you that.
Yeah, people ask me that all the time. They're like, does Sam Flannel just like make this shit? I'm like, no, he believes everything he
that's
says,
the whole beauty. That's why I don't even get what a hot
take
take is, because you're not trying to get a click. You're not trying to. This is the real him, right? And the fact that sometimes like he can hit the nerve to whatever else, but people think the way that he does.
He has a very analytical focused.
Analytically focused. Yeah. Wow.
And he's wrong.
That's like I'm an alcoholic. He's analytically focused.
you know what your deficiencies are, and you adjust accordingly.
Absolutely.
That's why.
Absolutely.
I went for bat for Sandal in the chat because somebody said his takes were illogical and emotional. I was like, that's the complete opposite. Like, none of his takes are emotional.
Yeah, they're not emotional. Although I did get them emotional. You can't tap into some of the emotion.
Oh, yeah, you can fire them up.
There is emotion underneath. Yeah, but you know what? And you know what? Absolutely, who cares?
His takes are all built off stats.
No, they are
emotions.
And you know what? Too. What else? And guys, I've told you this also, and that's why like if I see stuff on social media where people are like, "Well, Woodward Sports, it's all hot take theater." Now with me, I've never said anything into this microphone that I don't believe.
Oh, me either.
Sam Flannel has never said anything into that microphone that he doesn't believe.
Oh, a hot take is something you don't believe?
That's what I read a hot take
You're
as.
accusing me of saying something to come out of my mouth that I don't believe? I've never been accused of that.
Hot take is something you just say to get clicks. It's not something you actually
believe. That's how I read it.
I think that's the beauty why I sit here and tolerate the fact is that it's not a like I do like the wrestling stuff. That's that's choreographed and stuff like that. This is not to sit here and look at this man, right? Because we're focusing on Sam because between him and Easy, they're the king of the hot take or the bad takes, not the hot takes, but they believe it.
There's a difference.
And I'll sit and question because I have to understand is why do you think that? What am I missing? No, you're just wrong. But it's okay. It's your opinion.
It's like,
and I respect it, Sam. I respect it because you do put your thought into it. So,
Ethan Brown says, Neal and D-Mac, can you think of any Zach Wilson-style young quarterback that you actually feel okay getting as a backup, someone that's on the outs? No. Because if they're on the outs, they stink.
I think what you're going to find, and I go back to it because I heard Brad Holmes talk about it, is they're going to address it, and they're going to address it with a veteran.
Right.
They're going to address his backup. That's somebody that's going to come in. We have this conversation all the time. Who's the last time you felt good if your starter went down? And a lot of us said Sean Hill, which is 15 years, like,
right,
what is that, 10 years ago?
I never understood this whole backup quarterback phenomenon. If your backup quarterback's in there, unless you have a winning lottery ticket like Brock Purdy, who, by the way, we're going to talk about the conference championship games, and don't say, well, this is Detroit Talk. Why are we taking a segment about each of those games? Because every single one of you are going to watch it.
Yep.
Every single one of you are.
Factual.
Or it's our show, and we'll do what we want. How's that one? Good. Anybody, do you not want Neal's name's on this? My name's on this. We invite these guys. So how about that? How about the bottom line? I'll bottom line it with that one.
You know what's funny about that? If you ever want a 15-second clip of me and D-Mac working together, it's that right there. I'm going to talk about it because you're all going to watch it. You can say whatever you want. You're going to watch it. And D-Mac says, we're going to talk about it because I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's us.
We talk about enough shit on here that I don't want to talk about, so here we go.
CB says Sam Flannel is the TMZ of Detroit.
Damn.
Oh, that is good.
Start calling you Harv.
Yeah, I never understood the backup quarterback phenomenon. People pleaser says Cooper Rush saved Dallas's season, but when
Dallas's defense saved Dallas's season.
Thank you. And this whole Brock Purdy phenomenon, like, it was nice. Dak Prescott threw the picks. He was on brand. You're not going to be insulated this weekend, bro.
Yeah.
You're not home playing the Seahawks. And I would tell you this. Watching how this is all played out, if the Lions could have got in, and I know they went 1-6, so they didn't get in. Mm-hmm. That's factual. Factual. I know they didn't. But having Purdy throw those two balls that hit the Cowboys defenders in the chest, you know what I'm saying?
One of them bounced off like 4 people.
Okay. Hit him in the chest.
Oh my gosh, you guys talking about what happens in a football game?
Yeah.
Are you talking about bounces in a football game or in a sporting game that either
right?
Go,
and he didn't
that
change
it?
He didn't catch it. So that's what it is. So Purdy won and they moved on. But everything, the schedule coming down the stretch, the first home playoff game, everything's been insulated. He's going into Philly this weekend.
And the hype is a little kind of ridiculous to me. It's not like he's going for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's
like
had
a
one game
$190
of over 300 yards since he's been the starting quarterback. He's doing what he needs to do, taking care of the ball, but it's not like he's out there dropping 70-yard ropes. Yeah, I know he doesn't need to, but I'm saying everybody, Purdy's the man, sign him forever. It's like, pump the brakes a little bit. He's solid. He's doing what he has to do, but he's not a game changer.
I'm not saying he's the man or anything, but he's playing quarterback right now better than Jimmy Garoppolo ever has, and I'll die on that hill. He was excellent in that game at home against Seattle. Jimmy Garoppolo has never had one good playoff game. Jimmy Garoppolo is mid, and Brock Purdy is just a slightly above version of mid, but he's a rookie. I'm not saying Brock Purdy's the answer moving forward. I'm just saying that he does deserve some credit, although the lion's share of the credit has to go to Kyle Shanahan and that defense.
No question.
Can we wait till he loses a game to disrespect the guy? I mean, at least wait till he loses a game and maybe stops beating top quarterbacks. This is his toughest test, obviously, but he's done, it's a team game, right? He does enough. The big thing about Brock Purdy is the spotlight. Every moment that he's been in isn't too big for him, right? So his lack of talent to whatever it does, but he's the perfect guy for the job because the moment's not too big.
All right, let's get into it. When we come back, let's get into it then. The NFC Championship game, because I have some thoughts, D-Mac. We may butt heads on some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because it matters, because we care, right? And but here's the whole thing. I've never heard of a kid who hasn't lost the game continue to get more disrespect put on him, like what he's not. Let's talk about what he is. Just because it matters, just like at Alta. Uptime matters. At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment is everything you need to get the job done. You got a bog project coming up, Alta Rent has you covered. Call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
The Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Multiple different ways you can play it. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they also have a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go to Hamtramck and check them out at the Fulling Warehouse or visit them online at FullingWarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rockstar here in the building. Conference Championship weekend. It's wild, dude. After Sunday, we'll have the Super Bowl set.
That's pretty crazy.
And that'll be it. And we'll be ready to rock. I love the Super Bowl. But Conference Championship weekend, D-Mac, low-key, like from a football watching perspective, is better than Super Bowl Sunday.
Well, of course it is, because but it is because it's the home teams, right? The fans and everything else. Like you look at the Philadelphia fans, like they coming out. This is a Super Bowl. This game is a Super Bowl for that home team's fans, right? That you get to see. That's why they can't move. The Super Bowl is too expensive for everybody.
They're going to move it.
Well, whatever they do, that's going to ruin it. You're just in time. But the Super Bowl is like all pomp and circumstance. You hear people talk about, what it is to get a ticket to go there. Frankly, the Super Bowl, you always look for the parties, what Super Bowl party, the squares and stuff, but not being there. I mean, that'd be just too much to me. So this weekend, yes, they put it in, but they're putting it in for their home teams. You're seeing the fans. You're seeing, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat all through it, but it's with the fans that have been there all along. So there's something to it. This is sort of like the mini Super Bowl.
I can't remember.
The celebration, it's a different celebration when you get to celebrate. Like, I remember what it's like winning on the road and winning at home. And it's just different winning in front of your fans. Like, I couldn't imagine not winning 97. My favorite gosh darn moment is being on the ice when that buzzer went. When the buzzer went, the guys came out the bench, the streamers came out of the stands, the fans off their feet. From blue line to blue line going back to getting the pile, it was so loud in Joe Louis Arena, it was silent. It was the old, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that for any athlete that has worked his whole life to be able to experience that, that's where you experience it even more, right? Like Super Bowl, yeah, you'll experience, but you'll take this. And I think in football, you get to take this if you win your conference. That's why they make it such a big deal of getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so we promised it. We're doing it right now. The Philly-San Francisco portion of the Conference Championship weekend, pretty much universally across the board. Philadelphia, a 2.5-point favorite. It's teetering back and forth. You can take a -2.5, -115, or you can take a -3 for even money. So it's however you want to shop on that one. And look, the Brock Purdy thing, everything's been insulated for him. The home playoff game that's scheduled down the stretch, playing Seattle in the first round as opposed to playing the Lions. I think playoffs could have looked a lot different.
All right.
I honestly believe that. But whatever. They started 1-6. They didn't get in. We're not here talking about that right now. The moral of the story is this. It's about to get uncomfortable for Brock Purdy for the first time, especially D-Mac. And see, games have gone the way that Brock Purdy and a young quarterback would need them to go, right? Where their defense was in control. They were playing from ahead most of the time. Jalen Hurts is good. This Eagles roster, if you go top to bottom, is as maybe the best roster that's left in the playoffs right now. Top to bottom. I just think he's going to be uncomfortable at a point this weekend on the road in front of those maniacs in Philadelphia where they'll have to grease the street poles to keep him from hanging on the street lights and everything like that. I just think he's walking into something the likes of which he's never seen before. And it's going to be a lot. I'll say it like that.
This is going to be a war. I don't say that. You mentioned that, but I think Jalen Hurts, the same thing, hasn't seen a defense like this. And we agree that San Francisco wins this game, which I'm taking San Francisco to win this game. And I'll take them with the points to try to double dip too. But the fact is that I believe it's the defense will win. It's what the defense does. Purdy knows this. Here's the one thing that I implore people for the NFL films or go and watch interviews, go check how much this friggin' 49ers team chirps. They talk all over the field, right? So, yes, going into Philly with that heat, I think that they're looking forward to this. I think it's the team around them. And to your point, Neal, to Sam's point about Brock Purdy being just above mid, that I don't think, until I see it, that the moment is too big for him to be in. If it was Jimmy G or Trey Lance getting in here, and to be fair to Trey Lance, we don't know because he didn't play. But Jimmy G, the moment gets too big, right? Brock Purdy, I don't think it. I think it's because of what he's surrounded by. But I think it's the defense. I think that, yes, this is the showdown, but I believe, like we saw more in the Dallas game, right, is that he's going to have to make a couple plays, but it's the defense that carries his team. And I think Jalen Hurts, and I know he's probably healthy and stuff like this, but we'll really see, because is that Philly offense as good as we say, and can he take him to that next level? I don't think so. I think this San Francisco and the adversity that they faced in past years and getting to this point, this is what it's all about for them. This is their time. It's not Philly's time. Philly doesn't need to win as much as San Fran needs to win on the bigger picture. Does that make sense? Because Philly's going to be back they committed to Hurts and all this stuff. They're going to be back and be back. It's going to be a war, especially in the trenches and stuff like that, like you mentioned, as far as you could be right. But I think these are two of the most talented rosters, right, of athletes.
No, and I understand what you're saying. It's just, for me, 7 of the last 9 games at home, for the 40. Just everything's been insulated. And look, we'll do it right now. I've seen it anywhere, and I don't usually roll this way, but we're doubling up on a get right, by the way. I saw Brock Purdy, the best I saw, minus 150. He's minus 150 to throw an interception. Take it. Take it. Take it. Get right. Write this one down. I lost last week on the Cowboys. We were there in the fourth quarter, but we didn't send it home. We are back on this one. We are back. Brock Purdy will throw an interception. Shop the number around. Get the best number. Don't be stupid about it. Don't just fire up the first sports book you got and fire away if it's minus 170. Shop around. You can get it. I just don't. Brock Purdy, the carriage is going to turn into a pumpkin in Philadelphia this week. There's just too much going against him.
It's the best secondary he's seen. By far.
Yeah, but you said that last week, Neal. Looks like these NFC.
No, that wasn't the best secondary.
What's that?
That wasn't the best secondary. That was the best front.
But what I'm saying, no, I agree. But last week, what it came down to, didn't Dallas than not? Look at the dumb mistakes. Look at the mistake by Schultz. They're tied at mental mistakes. There was more doing Dallas. You don't see Philly. You see Philly putting themselves in the same position and being able to come through against San Francisco.
Jalen Hurts?
Yeah. Yes, that's
well.
yeah.
He's insulated too. I mean,
No,
if you're going to do it,
absolutely.
If you're going to do it, this is the spot to do it.
See, this is why the showdown. You look at that offensive line. You look at we say Nick Bosa's the best player in football. All right, Nick, go chase Hurts around. Let's see what it is. It's got to be a great game.
This is pretty sharp by Brandon Katz as well. It's all or nothing with Brandon Katz. When he's good, man, he's good. He's good on this one. Philadelphia's getting Maddox back. What's that?
Javi Baez, the Woodward Sports Chat.
Yeah.
Home run or strikeout.
Yeah. Philadelphia's getting Maddox back. It's huge for them. Maddox been the best slot cornerback in the NFL this year. Now think about that. Like, you throw around terms like the best slot cornerback for a defense. You know what other cornerbacks they have on that side.
Oh yeah, Darius Slay, CJ DJ.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like this is going to be different.
So San Fran, you got Kittle, you got McCaffrey. Right, you got Debo.
Yeah,
you got Ayuk, who gets the most disrespect. Like everybody forgets.
Debo
Ayuk
does get slept on, no doubt. People sleep on Debo Samuel. I agree with you on that.
No, Ayuk. They don't sleep on Debo. They sleep on Ayuk. Their own team sleeps on him. What do you see? Catch. I agree. The matchup is there, right? I just think, in my opinion, that this is what San Fran. Have we agreed San Fran is underachieved? Like, for championships and whatever, like, great, yeah, all the wins and stuff like this, but as far as getting over the hump and winning, they need this. They're in their locker room. So,
see, and that's a great take by you, because when we talk the AFC Championship next segment, that's the beauty of all this. That's why I love the NFL playoffs. I was talking about this on the bus to the airport last night with Johnny Kane. Him and I were kicking it back and forth. He's actually a big 49ers fan.
Good boy, Johnny. No wonder I loved you. I loved you.
We were talking about how the NFL playoffs are great because your career is defined. Like, you can put up whatever numbers you want to put up. You can be as great as you want. If you do not win in the playoffs, you take slander. That's just the nature of the beast. And while certainly there's a lot of time for whoever loses, be it Jalen Hurts or Purdy, whoever loses, they will have, they have time to vindicate that. It's just, when you brought up the 49ers and how they haven't been able to cash one in, what position have they lacked at?
Quarterback.
The one. Like, when it's Jimmy G and Patrick Mahomes.
Do you not think this kid's different? I think he's got something different. It's the attitude. It's the thing that I hear, the way that he, the intelligence, the fact that he's a forward. Like, the moment doesn't seem too big. Yes, do I agree that his ceiling of his athleticism and making the throws, but they don't put him in that spot, and I think that that's the beauty of it, right? I just think that the San Fran team is operating like they know that this is their window. Right? Where Philly, too, is like, yeah, we got a few guys, but, this is going to be our shot. You expect Philly to sort of be here more times than not. And as San Fran has to figure it out, because they got stars there. I just see this as, if this is San Francisco's time, it's got to be now. Because the clock's running out. It's sort of like Colorado last year in the playoffs.
Yeah,
in the NHL, right? With the money the way it is like they have to win. Like, this is their time to win now.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Doughboy Steve says Joe Burrow loses a Super Bowl and he's the king of cool. Golf loses and he's ish. But Doughboy Steve, that's what makes this great, though. That's what's on the line. Fair or not fair, right or wrong, that's what's on the line. That's another reason why I love the conference championship weekend, because it's that last step before you get to the true defining of your career. And again, right or wrong, do we put too much into one game? Probably, but that's what I love. I love all the chips in the middle of the table, man. I love it. I love a Game 7. I love the winner was better, and they're a better player. I love that.
It gives an opportunity for that one game for different guys to step up and put their name right in the lights. And for people to remember. I mean, to David Tyree, you don't, like, different plays that happen. Malcolm Butler with the interception in the Super Bowl. Like, these are the moments. What do we always remember to this day? San Francisco, Dwight Clark from Joe Montana. Still, years and years and years before you guys were born. Right? But it's still, these are where moments are made. And I'm sure there's going to be moments made this weekend.
Brandon Katz says Burrow doesn't have Hill, Kelsey, Mahomes has far better weapons than Burrow before. this year. We're going to discuss that when we come back because I do have some thoughts on that matchup. Sports marketing agency, they help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It's a series about the stigma associated that comes with when you want to seek help. If you're struggling, go to thesportsma.com. If you know someone that's struggling, thesportsma.com, the sports marketing agency, they're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Neal Ruhl here for Bedrock Detroit. Downtown Detroit's all decked out this winter season with the return of the Cadillac Lodge and the Monroe Street Midway. The Midway has a giant slide, the winter bumper cars, an indoor arcade. Plus, you can get drinks at the Lodge before or after Red Wings or Pistons game. Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. .com. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We're talking conference championship weekend. We kind of gave our takes on it. D-Mac's ride or die with San Francisco. I'm in with Purdy making a mistake or two. It is a get right, by the way. Get the prop, Brock Purdy to throw an interception.
And we both could be right.
That's the beauty of it. Yeah,
exactly.
That is true.
Exactly. I see how you did that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's... our thoughts are out there on that. You guys got your thoughts as well. Let's get to this one, the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs and the Bengals. This line has had wild movement. The Chiefs opened up, I believe, as a 3-point favorite. I was actually at Ground Zero. I was in the mecca of it all when it popped up on the board, and it was like watching a stock crash. It was like popped up 3, 30 seconds later 2.5, 30 seconds later 2. About an hour later, 1.5. And I was like, damn. And it swung. And then the Bengals were favored by 1.
Well, it's the injury, right? It's the unsure that Patrick
Mahomes. Well, I mean,
people
people knew he was hurt when the line came out. You know, like.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
You're right. So,
but the Chiefs right now have pretty much settled into a 1-point favorite in the game. So that's where it is with that. And I'll say it like this. This is, for me, what I was just talking about, where everything is on the line. And we welcome in Sam Flannel to the discussion here, D-Mac, because Sam Flannel's boy, Patrick Mahomes, and I love Patrick Mahomes, for the record. I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL. I think he's the best player, one of the best players in the NFL. However, and I know he's hurt, and sometimes it isn't fair, if he doesn't win this game, and the Bengals come in and they take his lunch, and Cincinnati goes to the Super Bowl, you're starting to approach Aaron Rodgers territory. And you are, Sam Flannel, and I know you don't like to hear that, and this might drive some people crazy, but you can ask the question. If they don't cash it in, you can start asking the question. Is he a one-timer? Is he a guy that got it done the first time but now can't get back, can't do it? That's what's on the line. Make no mistake. Hurt or unhurt.
I understand that, but Patrick Mahomes, at least, unlike any of the other quarterbacks in the Final Four, has already cashed in a Super Bowl, has won a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, like Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yes, I understand that. And I think that last year was a huge missed opportunity because Patrick Mahomes, more so than anybody else, choked away that second half. That was a huge missed opportunity. And this year they got another AFC Championship game at home in the Arrowhead Invitational, as it's been called, because it's been the AFC Championship game has been a home game for the Chiefs for 5 straight years. If they lose this, they would have lost 3 of them, which
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough, but my thing, and this is what has kind of bothered me a little bit. On Monday when I came back in after watching the Bengals dismantle the Buffalo Bills, I was drinking a lot of the Joe Burrow Kool-Aid myself because he was great in that game. He's, to me, the clear-cut second-best quarterback in the league. But people are I think people are prematurely coronating Joe Burrow by a little bit. Hey,
but that's what's on the line.
I understand that, but in order for him, I think, to usurp Patrick Mahomes, he would have to lead the Cincinnati Bengals to a win this weekend and then win a Super Bowl MVP.
Right.
Then we're willing to have those conversations.
Well, but that's it, though. You think in the court of public opinion, D-Mac, I'll ask you this question. In the court of public opinion, if Burrow does that and pulls that off and wins the Super Bowl, perception, he's elevated over Patrick Mahomes because he doesn't have the L's along the way.
What have you done for me lately? But guys, remember, we're talking about he's 27. You can't put him in the Rodgers and press. Brandon's right.
No.
He's already been back to the Super Bowl before.
And I get
the
that.
fact that the team is dominant and he's got the object is to get to the Final Four and see what's happened. You could see why he's lost. No, their dominance is and their dominance is there. But plus, Neal, he's got to play for 10 more years. So maybe this is his hiccups right now and figures it out because the times that he's lost or hasn't got there, he's run into Joe Burrow, who, am I right or not, has Patrick Mahomes ever beat Joe Burrow? Has a Patrick Mahomes team ever beat a Joe Burrow team?
No, they've not.
No, right? So
that's real.
The only way out is through, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't take away from his greatness as a quarterback. To me, that he's still going to be the best player, or arguably the best player in the league, but this is a team game. We're not talking about him individually. We got to see, can Kansas City in the past, right, hasn't been the team around them, right? That's what Cincinnati
But that's also
Cincinnati's
because of him,
defense is a lot better than we thought, and what did they do last week, right? With 3 backup offensive linemen, they did something that you thought, they're going to get Joe Burrow killed. No, they figured out a scheme to keep him upright. So that means oh my gosh, it took them a long time, but they figured something out. Now it's more of the chess match and to the team. To your point, when you look at it, if people who look at stats of who Joe Burrow's got this and Patrick Mahomes, it's 1 and 2. But at the end of the day, it doesn't take away to his greatness. I think it goes more to which team has been better, who's had a better team.
Right, and in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Giovanni Mosheri says if he's on the path to Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't mean he can't turn it around in the future. And I'm not saying it's linear. Like if they don't win, it's over. Close the book on them. I am saying though, you can ask the question. Am I being fair here to say because you know what's going to come out? Yeah. If Joe Burrow wins, what's wrong with Mahomes? Why can't he beat Burrow? How come when he gets in the biggest game, he rarely wins? They will start having that Aaron Rodgers.
A Super Bowl MVP already on his resume. Not rarely wins. Come on, that's crazy talk.
Hey, Sam Flannel. Have they been the best team in football for the past 5 years?
If I would say so, and I do think that if they don't win it this year, you can maybe say that they left a couple on the table.
You can ask
fair.
the question.
That's fair.
I'm not saying it's linear. I'm not saying it's a closed book. That's what the talk will. Spemo, am I crazy here or what, man?
I don't think so. I think you're not saying it's happening. It is there, but the questions do start to arise. I think Patrick Mahomes will eventually get back and win a Super Bowl for sure, but he's got to slay the dragon of Joe Burrow first.
We just talk about windows, though, and D-Mac, the Chiefs are an example because Mahomes got that contract, and what was the cost? What was the cost?
Well, here's the thing.
Tyreek Hill was the cost.
Right? What you can put around. So these are conversations I think to have. We can do this, we can do that, but this is where it puts us. So is the fact that Patrick Mahomes committed so much money to him, taken away from, a player here, a player there, somebody that could get them over the edge.
But see,
I don't know if that's what it is, but that's the way that they've gone.
I think the mistake people in the chat are making, and the mistake that Sam Flannel, they act like it's guaranteed he's going to get back to 3 Super Bowls. And the data has shown us, once you get paid and you inhibit your team's ability to move, it's a lot harder, I think, because again, people think everything's linear, and it's not. And it's no guarantee that they'll be back. It's no guarantee, and we've seen it now. We've seen it a couple of times where he's come in banged up, a little bit in the Super Bowl as well. His offensive line was decimated. Tom Brady didn't end his career, like Stick said, trying to stir up the pot. But it did go down that way, though. It did. Make no mistake.
I mean,
he got cooked.
Obviously, the Chiefs having no tackles had a lot to do with it. But when we look back at the history books, I think people are going to say, how in the world did a Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs team only score 9 points in the Super Bowl? And do I think that's necessarily a huge stain on his legacy? Not necessarily, but it's fair to kind of put that as a missed opportunity. I mean, with Patrick Mahomes, to me, he's the one guy playing right now who actually, with what he's done his first 5 seasons and what we could project him to do, could end up in the GOAT conversation someday. But he's got to start winning more rings. 1 is obviously not going to be enough. He's got to at least win a couple more, maybe 2 or 3 more. And I think he's the type of quarterback that can do it, but you can't just leave these opportunities on the table year after year after year. So you've kind of turned me a little bit. There is a lot on the line for Patrick Mahomes. I've just been a little bit annoyed with the premature Burrow coronating.
But if he goes in and does it,
then
can't nobody tell me nothing, right?
That's true, but he still would. I think he'd still have to win the Super Bowl to be.
I think the Bengals are winning this game.
They could.
Do too.
They could.
I honestly believe that.
If they get the way the Bengals defense got after Josh Allen, I know the Chiefs' offensive line is much better than the Bills' offensive line, but still, if they can get after Patrick Mahomes to somewhat of a degree like that, like, the Bengals are going to put up points. That's going to happen, period.
And that's the thing, too. For me, this Chiefs defense, because I watch the Chiefs a lot. Obviously, I've talked to you guys about my affinity for Tyreek Hill. Watched him through the years. I think Tyreek Hill is the most electric player in the NFL right now with the ball in his hand. Watching them for a long time and then watching every moment of that game against Jacksonville, their defense just doesn't reassure you, and it never has. It never has. And what's scary is, like, 2 of their top 4 top paid players, are Jones, Clark, I believe, is up there too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're paying
their front side and into, like, their rush and stuff. That's legit, right? But once you get to the secondary, and there's holes. Right, there's holes, and it's Joe Burrow. I mean, I look for T. Higgins to have a big game, right? You look at how are they going to run the ball. The one thing is that what they figured out is they've directed. If you watch what they did last game, is they directed and initiated which blocking lanes, throwing lanes for Joe Burrow, and kept them upright. Now, I think that Kansas City will get more pressure, and it's not saying they're not going to sack him, but you're not going to see him go down 7-8 times, 1 or 2 times. But I think that, what Cincinnati's built, what they're doing on all facets of the game, I got Cincinnati winning this one too.
And it wasn't even like just the defensive line of the Bengals that was getting after Josh Allen. It was the corner blitzes.
Every blitz they brought.
Safety disguised beautifully. Like,
did you not see more in that game of, like, usually everybody knows, watch tape knows, okay, this guy here, but I caught him on the blind side, like not even seeing guys like this. So these great defensive coordinators like Cincinnati are pulling out things that they haven't shown all year long. Mm-hmm. So get ready to see that, because it can turn the game as we saw.
That game was a good lesson into, like, when you say, how can somebody be that wide open? Or when you say, how can they not block that guy? Because you don't know.
They're disguising it.
You don't know which way they're coming from and which way they're going.
Yeah.
Like, it is truly a crapshoot, which is why you see blown coverages.
Yeah.
And why you see blown assignments, blocking, and you see quarterbacks get crushed, etc. We will wrap up this discussion when we come back. Real quick, Cornelius T. Everybody walks on eggshells when it comes to criticizing Mahomes. I know. Like, I feel like I had to draw the sword there, and I wasn't even being critical.
There's 2 Mahomeses I criticize, and neither of them are named Patrick.
That's good. That's good. That's almost like getting a haircut, Spenny, and registered for a house. Right? Only one place to go. That's Lady Jane's. For award-winning haircut experience, register for once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home. $200,000. Yes, I said it, $200K. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization, we serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Matrix Home Solutions is your go-to for any home project. Looking for a new man cave? They are the basement remodel experts. They also specialize in bathrooms and kitchens. An A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. Call 888-594-8844 or go to matrixhomesolutions.com.
Final segment of the week. It's Friday, right? It is Friday.
Friday, and you guys will have fun next week. I'm out all week next week.
Okay.
I'm on the travel schedule, out and about across this country.
I'm excited to see
I'm excited too.
Some of the projects you got going. Yeah, I'm excited too.
So technically I don't never get a vacation. It's just go work at
a different place.
Work at a different.
It's kind of like me.
You know what? Exactly. But I'm not going to end up in Little Italy with George Blaha.
I'm not going to be here Monday or Tuesday next week.
Oh man, it's just gonna be me and you, Sam Flannel, running the whole show. Huh?
That'd be good.
Monday's at Feldman, and then Tuesday I got my court date for that ticket.
Oh, that infamous ticket.
Yeah.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Mike G. Spenny's hoodie be fresh. Also said Neal's hoodie is whiter than Martha Ford. I'm not participating in that. All right, we're not going there.
Mine's questionably distressed. That's what we call this, questionably distressed line. It's actually, they took shotgun shells to it.
Tonight, by the way, 9 o'clock, I'll be going to Youngstown, Ohio after this. Golden Grizzlies, Youngstown State Penguins. 9 o'clock, ESPN2.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So, if you want, you can turn it on and mute it and listen to the radio on 1270 AM The Bet, 97.1 HD3.
Gotcha.
So, you can tap in to that. That's about the story. I am excited, too, for what D-Mac's got going on. Chuck Brewer says, great, Neal, you and Sam can discuss Sweet Lou Whitaker then all next week. He doesn't want those problems.
I'll be back on Wednesday.
Yeah. Sam Flannel, you don't want those problems.
Sure about that?
Yes.
Oh!
Yes, I'm sure about that.
Oh, I can't. Yes, good time for me to leave. You guys figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So who you got this weekend, Neal?
I am dead set on the Bengals winning that football game. I think the Chiefs' defense will not be able to keep up, which in turns will make a banged-up Patrick Mahomes. They made it a point, too. They did a press release to say that Mahomes was a full participant in media.
Yeah. He's not limping away from his interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even Mahomes said, he's like, what are you going to see from me walking?
Yeah.
When you say high ankle sprain, it's not just roll out and scramble for your life on Sunday.
Yeah, it doesn't just go away.
It's not that. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, Sam Flannel, because if you're out there, you can play. I don't want to hear it, man.
I just don't understand why. I've heard more criticism from Patrick Mahomes this week from people like you, Neal, and people like you, Spenny, than even for Joe Burrow. What has Joe Burrow done to warrant all of this? Like he's Joe Cool already.
He is Joe Cool.
Well, he never lost to Patrick Mahomes, for one.
Hey, but he did help blow that Super Bowl. He had 5 chances to put that game away. Field goal, punt, 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 punt. You act like he won last year. The Bengals won last year.
The great thing sometimes, maybe a little experience. The first time you get to the big dance, you got to learn what it takes to win.
Patrick Mahomes didn't. That's fair.
That one time. I did. Lost the first one, won the next 4. So, you know what? Maybe Joe Burrow's on more of a DMAC path. Yeah, but Patrick Mahomes got his first one. Way to go, Aaron Rodgers. You want me to get it on the Aaron Rodgers? Prove me do something right, do something left. He's the greatest player in the friggin' NFL.
I understand.
Now carry your team.
Yeah,
he doesn't win, you're getting buried. You got a week off.
Buried.
Have a great weekend. Absolutely.
Hey,
buried.
Those are the stakes.
Buried.
Those are the stakes, Sam Flannel. That's why
on the line.
That's why the NFL playoffs are great, man. Every game affects your legacy. So we will catch back up with you on Monday. For D-Mac, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rexer, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping into Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network.
Peace.